Y'all, James Charles and Jeffree Star were crashing out over this TikTok ban. I have to say this though, okay? Because I know how some people can like find it funny and things like that because it's kind of like, oh my gosh, they're crashing out over an app. They're like freaking out and things like that. And I get it because obviously that's some people who, a lot of viewers out there really don't get it. You know what I mean? They look at it and they're like, oh my gosh, it's just an app. If it gets taken away, yeah, that sucks, but whatever. But you do have to keep in mind James Charles, Jeffree Star, and so many other Americans out there do have their businesses and they make their livelihood on TikTok. So low key at first I was like, oh my gosh, like they're blowing this way out of proportion. But then the more that I thought about it, I actually did feel bad. And I was like, you know what, that really does suck. Considering I want to say James Charles, I feel like TikTok has really built his brand as to where, yes, Jeffree Star, I feel like he has had his brand way before TikTok was popping. He was obviously selling out of things from YouTube, and obviously he could always go back to YouTube. But I want to say James Charles, I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure, well, he said it, I'm pretty sure, that he had like the number one selling makeup brand on the TikTok shop, or at least like his palette was, or one of his products, something like that was like the number one selling thing on the TikTok shop. So obviously he is relying on this. Also, I have to say this too because like I've realized now, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm like fidgeting with my damn beanie because I haven't worn a beanie in so long, and I'm like, ugh, it's like cutting off my circulation. I have to say this too because like a lot of people are just like, oh my gosh, it's just making people like James Charles and Jeffree Star more and more rich. You guys do have to keep in mind too that they employ a lot of people, so that is taking away their jobs too. Say for example, if Jeffree Star Cosmetics, is pushing out so many, products, obviously Jeffree Star is going to hire more people. Same thing for James Charles. A lot of people, and I've seen this comment time and time again, whether it be on Twitter or Instagram during the little 14-hour ban here, because people were obviously saying about their TikTok shops and things like this. People were like, oh my gosh, you have enough money, like stop being so greedy. But I'm like, also do keep in mind these people do employ a lot of people to obviously work at their warehouse, to work for their customer service, like to do all these different types of jobs. And I think that a lot of people really don't see that. They look at a person like who, whatever the person is, whether it be, I don't know, let's say if it was like Kim Kardashian who had a TikTok shop, whatever it is, it's like just think of all the people that they employ. And obviously, if TikTok were to shut down, I really do feel like somebody like, James Charles, who his brand is like really, growing on TikTok. Obviously, if he loses all those sales from there, then he's going to have to, probably lay off quite a few people that he has hired right now. And I think a lot of people don't, think about that. And it's kind of like, let's, be a little bit, more mindful here of like, obviously not James Charles himself is packing every single order and like doing every single thing at the warehouse. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so within today's video, I did want to talk about them reacting to the TikTok ban. Low key, I have to say this though, like James Charles was kind of funny. Like somehow, okay, while the TikTok ban was down, so many people were saying, I've tried a VPN, I've changed my location to Hawaii because they're like 3 hours behind. Nothing was working. Somehow James Charles created a TikTok, and I don't know how he did it. No, everyone's like, what the hell has gone on here? Because so many other people tried a VPN and it didn't work, but somehow he made a TikTok and did it. I have to say this too, and I know a lot of you guys don't like James Charles. I know a lot of you guys don't like Jeffree Star. I totally get that. Y'all know me. I don't know. I feel like I'm just like mutual about everybody. I'm just kind of like, don't love him, don't hate him, and I'm just like, whatever, I have to say, for some reason, I kind of felt bad for Jeffree Star because I am going to play a clip that actually Rich Lux had gotten from his live. I think he was watching his live right before TikTok had went down, and Jeffree Star kind of like freaked out over it, and I felt really bad. And I know, obviously, to people out there, they're like, oh, screw Jeffree Star, whatever, and whatever. He has millions of dollars, but it's kind of like, y'all know recently I've been saying, I'm like, oh, I think maybe he's going broke because why is he always on TikTok live and asking for money and things like that? Like, I don't know. I really felt kind of bad for him, like seeing it on live and seeing him kind of like freak out that like it started to say that TikTok was no longer available. And it just made me feel bad. And that's why I'm saying, like, I'm like, y'all, I have understood some of the points. I do got to keep it real. As soon as I read more and more, and I think I told you guys before about how like Google's like banned in China and how they don't allow some apps. Apparently China doesn't allow Twitter. They've never allowed Twitter there. So I understand, why America is kind of being like, oh no, like, why is it okay for them to do this, and that, and they get to collect our data, we don't get to collect their data, all these things. I understand these points. However, at the end of the day, we have to look like this is people's livelihoods. It's not just like a fun app. Yes, it started out that way to people were doing, little silly trends of like dancing and comedy skits and things like that. This has now become like a QVC. This has now become people's jobs. And I really do feel like people need to, start opening up a little bit more to the idea of like, hello, social media is a job. It is a straight up job. And I think people need to, because I've seen so many like older people, and honestly in my family too, people are like, oh my God, it's an app. Who cares if it shuts down? And I'm like, well, that's a lot of people's like jobs on the line here. Like, that's kind of messed up. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, what if we just said, oh, let's close down Ford. Ford is done. It's like, okay, Ford employs like what, tens of thousands of employees. Do you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, hello, we got to think a little bit more. Anyways, go ahead and check, because we're briefly going to talk about Jeffree Star. Go ahead and check out the Jeffree Star's live to where he was talking about this right when the ban was happening.
Oh my God, my iPad TikTok's done.
Are you kidding me?
No, let me show you the alert. Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. It's done. I can't.
Oh my God.
I can't watch anymore. Oh my God.
Oh.
It's on top of all my DMs. I can't share. It says, sorry, TikTok is not available right now.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
Let me read it. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the US. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok right now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. So it's all in Trump's hands.
Oh. Wow.
It literally says that. I can't screenshot it. I wish I could. It shows all my DMs behind it.
Adam has it on his phone.
I just took a screenshot.
Right here.
Okay, cool.
Guys, I just got it.
I can't expose all the guys I'm sleeping with.
No, but before it goes, I seriously love you guys so much. Like, you guys are seriously some of like the
I
best.
haven't got it yet. People are snapping me with it.
I'm so sad. I literally just got the message, so I don't know how much longer.
It's on my phone. It's
It's
crazy.
just like I can't even see you guys anymore.
Did it pop up on- Oh, it just came on my. What is that email? It's on my
Oh
phone.
my God, it won't even let me open the app.
I can't.
It's on my screen. It's on my screen.
Oh.
Bobby Joe.
Oh, it just got on my screen. It's on my screen.
As y'all saw from right there, I don't know why. For some reason, I low-key kind of felt like bad about it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into James Charles, because low-key, I feel like he was, you know, I have to say this about James Charles, okay? He is a good content creator, okay? And I know y'all like to talk shit to me whenever I say that, because yes, I understand James Charles passed. I get all that, but also, all the time, too, I feel like low-key, I always have to get defensive about this, because I'm like, clearly he still has 40 million followers. Clearly he's still racking in literally like hundreds of millions of views, getting billions, and I do mean billions of likes on social media. So it's kind of like, okay, if I'm going to talk about him and just say, hey, like, he's a good content creator, clearly the proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? Clearly he has all those viewers. Because I said that weird, viewers. He has all those viewers. He's getting all those likes. He's getting all the views. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like whenever I say something like that, people just automatically think that I'm like over here like sucking James Charles' ass. And y'all know I've had a lot to say about James Charles. Like, he just kind of irks me. But I always give credit when credit is due. And I really do feel like, one, he's a good makeup artist. Two, he's a great content creator. And I feel like he really does know how to, you know, I don't know, engage with his audience, especially in a time like this. He actually went on over to Instagram Reels and, you know, talked about this. I do want to go ahead and start off by playing that. And then after that, I'll show you guys the TikTok that he made, which I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, how did he make this TikTok? Which I still want to know, you know, like how he did it. But anyways, go ahead and check out this first Instagram Reel right here.
First of all, I thought we were going to have until at least fucking 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, midnight Eastern Time. What the fuck are they doing cutting us off an hour and a half early, you stupid motherfuckers? This is not real. This is not fucking real. And I can't believe that I'm making an Instagram Reel right now to complain about this, because normally when anything happens in the world, I go to TikTok. I feel like I'm being fucking cut off. This is literally like 180 million people are all like quitting a drug at the same time. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. What do we do?
As y'all saw from right there, the tone was, you know, much more different in his videos. I feel like he's like, you know, kind of like hamming it up. And also too, I feel like because he stayed so consistent on YouTube, he has that as a, you know, follow up. Also, I want to say this too. I feel like YouTube is like slowly trying to get their shop section together to compete with TikTok shop. So I feel like a lot more brands will probably be more welcomed on here. I do want to go to play this other TikTok to where he created that was during the whole shutdown, which has everybody tripped out because everyone's like, wait, I've tried the VPN, I changed my location, what's going on here? Also too, I do follow this creator who like lives in Japan, and I want to say even him in Japan, even though he's American, but he lives in Japan and he has like a Japan sim and everything, or Japanese sim and everything like that, he still couldn't access TikTok. So I'm like, how did James Charles do this? Anyways, go to check this out.
Hello.
All from right there, he obviously was crashing out about it, but I feel like he was like low-key, like, you know, kind of like playing around and poking a little bit of fun at it. But also I have to say this too, to where he had said that he like opened and shut the app like 14 times out of like muscle memory. I feel like that was me too, low-key, only because I'm like, whenever I'm just sitting there, like, y'all, I have such a bad habit of like, I'll have a TV show playing and I'll still be scrolling through TikTok. So I'm like, oh, the whole 14 hours while it was down. I was like, why am I still opening this app and doing it? Anyways, as of right now, TikTok is still up and running, and I really do think that it is going to stay around. I could totally be wrong. I feel like, the extension is obviously put in place for a reason, and I feel like they do have some sort of plan. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Like I said, I could totally be wrong, and they could completely shut it down, which sucks because I did say starting in 2025, I am going to start making more TikToks, and then now I'm like, wait, is it going to shut down? Like, should I really start putting more work into that or not? I don't know. Anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.